Welcome back, guys. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for taking time to spend a little time with me, and y'all already know what it is. We got to talk about this Madden 26. Just like I did with College Football 26, I have not read this article. I just finished watching the trailer like some of you guys, and some of you guys may like it, some of you guys may not. You guys know I've been doing this thing long enough to know I don't pay so much attention to the trailers, man. Trailers are sizzle. It's not going to give you everything that guys like me are looking for in terms of sim heads. It's for entertainment. So it always cracks me up when people overanalyze or over digest or just overdo it when it comes to breaking down the trailer. I'll let y'all have that. To me, it ultimately comes down to what it feels like when I actually play the game myself and see it in real time. But anyway, let's talk about this article. So let me go ahead and pull it up, guys. And we're going to read this thing. I'm not really going to read the beginning. It's basically just saying, hi, fans. What does it say here? Well, I will read it. It says, these notes are a passion project for the development team. Now, that's interesting. That rings a bell to me. But anyway, a passion project for the development team, equipping you with all of the news, notes, and updates ahead of Madden 26 worldwide launch. The team heard your feedback with Madden 25 and could not be more excited to start revealing Madden 26, focusing directly on what we heard from you. It says, today, we'll walk you through the hardest hitting, highest level information about Madden 26. The rest of the summer we'll drop the deep dives. And of course, that's what I'm waiting for, is the deep dives. It says mode by mode into everything you can expect when you boot up the game in August. All right, so first and foremost, gameplay. It says gameplay. When you talk about gameplay for Madden 26, we are talking about real-world NFL data, okay? Seeing the tendencies and traits of the league's superstars, experiencing real football weather on the virtual gridiron, strategizing around the real X's and O's of football, okay? And real community feedback coming through each snap, truly making every game you play feel different. Okay, that's big talk right there. That's big talk. That sounds good. But again, it all comes down to execution. We can't share everything today, but we're going to roll through some of our favorite gameplay features right now. Our Madden NFL 26 gameplay deep dive is on the horizon, and we can't wait to show you what we have been cooking. All right. First and foremost, it says QB DNA. Now, this one is big for me. This is a big one for me. I'm going to go ahead and go out on a limb and say that. This is big for me. For you guys that know the affiliation that I've had with EA over the years, going down there, giving them feedback, yada, yada, yada. This DNA thing is something that we talked about year after year in terms of AI. Not just the AI, but, the DNA of the player, like player likeness, player tendencies, all of that. So let's see what they're talking about here. It says, the quarterback is the most iconic position in all the sports. To reflect that, Madden 26 has completely reimagined quarterback mechanics from animations to behaviors, with our QB DNA. Not only are you watching Josh Allen's rocket arm fire off a deep pass mid-jump, you're doing that when you're playing as Josh Allen too. More than 500 new quarterback animations were added to Madden NFL 26. Okay, I'm not mad at signature animations. Again, guys, if y'all know me and you know this community, this is stuff we've been talking about for years. QB signatures in Madden 26 are a visual replication of everything from how each quarterback holds the football in the pocket to their arm slot when slinging it down the field. We have overhauled our player trait system with 50 new player traits across numerous positions, all backed by real-world NFL tendency data. Does your quarterback in real life throw more often to the right side of the field? Joe Burrow, for example, will be more likely to set his feet before throwing than other quarterbacks like Josh Allen. Says Josh Allen, as fearless as he is in real life, will be trucking defenders as he takes a chance to scramble for a first down instead. Okay, that sounds like player likeness. Whether it's Lamar Jackson getting shifty to avoid hits or Matt Stafford dropping his arm down to the finesse to to finesse a screen. Okay, so I'm reading that wrong. It says, whether it's Lamar Jackson getting shifty to avoid hits or Matt Stafford dropping his arm down to finesse a screen pass, pocket presence, scrambling tendencies, and passing styles reflect the unique traits of today's stars and tomorrow's legends. Okay, you talking a big game. This all sounds good. And that's how I'm going to approach this information that I'm reading, how it sounds. I have not seen it. I won't have an opinion on it until I see it. But in theory, this sounds really good. This is stuff that I've talked about for years. And it leads me to this next bullet point, coach DNA. This is something else I've talked about for years, especially since EA, when they eventually introduced schemes into Madden, I had continued to say the schemes need to really match the coach's DNA. It really needs to reflect what the real world coach does. Let's see what it says. Introducing Coach DNA, a groundbreaking feature that brings the personalities and tendencies of NFL head coaches to Madden NFL 26. Powered by machine learning. Whoa. Okay. And I saw somebody mention this yesterday, and I'm going to highlight it. Powered by machine learning stemming from years of real-world data, Coach DNA mirrors the unique styles and philosophies of NFL coaches. Fourth and third, you better be ready for Dan Campbell and the Lions to try getting a first down. Passing successfully on the Vikings. Expect some creative blitzes from their unpredictable defense. Okay. This data-driven play calling brings real-life head coach tendencies to the virtual gridiron. Now, if you're a franchise player like myself, this is music to my ears. Let's keep reading. Our second piece of Coach DNA is an overhaul to the coach suggestions. About time. Can I give him a round of applause? It's about time. It's about time. So what does it say here? Let me find my place. It says the overhaul to coach suggestions that also contains what we call coach speak, okay? If you're playing as the Lions, Dan Campbell will offer various suggestions depending on the down and distance, true to the Detroit Lions tendencies and mirror the way Campbell talks. On top of that, we have real-time coaching AI, where the CPU teams will make pre-snap adjustments and suggest play calls that specifically counter your opponent's tactics, okay? Driving Coach John Madden's vision further for teaching X's and O's is at the forefront of coaching DNA. All sounds good. We received a ton of positive feedback on our playbooks from the previous year, and we're happy to announce that we have nearly 1,000 new plays. Shout outs, man, to Anthony White, A-Dub, he knows who he is, the playbook guy. Shout outs to him. This has been a vision of his for years, guys. You have no idea. But anyway, let's get back on course. They're announcing 1,000 new plays at the launch of Madden 26. Our playbooks contain the current trend of motion and shift-based offenses you see from teams like San Francisco and Miami. For our defensive playbooks, you'll find exotic blitz pressures, defensive disguises, and the all-new stunts and twists to lock down your opponents. Thank God stunts and twists are in this game as well. That is a shared feature that is coming to College 26, and I have been saying this over and over and over. Now that college is back in the fold, these games need to be built together. Football is football, so features should be in both. Which brings me to the next one. Right here. You guys know this was one of my biggest issues last year with Madden 25 not having wear and tear and College Football 25 having it. This right here. Thank you for doing the logical thing. Wear and tear is and new depth chart positions. Okay. Modernized roster management adds strategic depth with the wear and tear system and dynamic substitutions. Wear and tear affects players' performance, while dynamic substitutions allow seamless situational swaps without pausing the gameplay, okay? Highly requested new depth chart positions modernized Madden 26, featuring edge, nose tackle, and long snapper, and versatile gadget position. Thank you, finally. Man, I could call out some names, man. Shout outs to my guy, Shopmaster, if Shop sees this. How long have we been telling them to rename? Shout outs to guys like Zan. How long have we been saying can you please list the outside backer as an edge in today's modern NFL? So like it says, featuring edge, nose tackle, long snapper, and versatile gadget position. This upcoming NFL season could see a dynamic, consistent two-way player in Travis Hunter, and Madden 26 is ready. Hunter will have abilities that counteract some of the wear and tear of playing both ways. Okay. Meaning you can't just throw it any receiver at cornerback and expect the same result. Thank you. That should be limited to those who can do it. So I would imagine taking that further, if you look deeper into that, I would imagine even the draft classes are gonna feature something of that nature, I would imagine. Sorry about that, guys. I had to pause the video for a moment, but now let's get back to the action. So, like I was saying before I stopped the last video, I would imagine draft classes will include a player once in a while that's similar to Travis Hunter, but everyone should not be able to do that. So thank you for that. Now, again, here's another big one. How many years have we talked about weather? I know a lot of you presentation guys and gameplay guys are like what you see here. So let's read about it. It says football weather. NFL teams face the dual challenge of battling each other on the field while contending with various harsh weather conditions through the season, and we have brought that to life with football weather in Madden 26. It says, we have completely overhauled not just the visuals, but also the effects of weather conditions. Thank you, finally, thank you, man. Not just the way it looks, it has to affect gameplay. Guys, this is like I'm reliving all of the moments and days that I spent down at EA year after year, man, just preaching this stuff. And I always told you guys, man, it was never the developers. It was always what they were allowed to do, right? There's always a governing body, so to speak, that says, okay, we're gonna focus on this. And I would just hope that one day they would focus on some of these things. So seemingly they have done that because they're advertising this in their very first reveal. All right. It says heavy snow, fog, rain, and everything in between will affect movement, visibility, stamina, and ball control. If you are playing Madden NFL Snowball, you'll notice players slipping or moving as clunky as they would in real-life blizzard. Physics, from how players move to how the ball carries, will be adjusted to mimic weather conditions. Think again about chip shot field goals in heavy weather. Thank you. We've also added finer details, making the elements a part of the home field where cold weather teams will not get as impacted when playing in the cold and wet as warm weather teams. Okay. But to balance, when playing in extreme heat, those cold weather teams will tire out faster, which is a little detail with a big impact that came straight from NFL players. So they're taking the real feedback from NFL players. Now, I will say this. From looking at this, I'm not sure that the weather is dynamic. Maybe that's the next component to it, but I'm cool with having real weather that affects the gameplay now, and I hope if dynamic weather isn't in, meaning that it could just start raining or start snowing out the blue, if that's not there, I would hope it progresses towards that. But this football weather is a great start to that, so I will wait to hear more information. Next up, it says foundational football. Fundamentals are not optional, they are essential. So we're doubling down on core football principles to give players more depth and control. I just can't believe what I'm reading, guys. I really can't. Y'all know. Some of you guys that are watching this are probably new to this channel, but dog, I had been going down to EA Sports since 2012, since Madden 13. And I have been what at that time was called game changer, giving them feedback, giving them my opinion, yada, 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 me and many others. And this stuff is like music to our ears because this is the stuff that we preached. Yeah, it's 2025 as far as the year, but whatever. I'm not going to be upset that it's finally happening. I'm not going to take that narrative. Oh, but it took forever. So what? We're here now, seemingly. But again, we still have to see it in action. Let me get back to it. It says explosive locomotion, run and pass blocking, defensive zone coverage, physics, and new mechanics are all at the forefront of improvements as we heard your feedback. When we say explosive NFL gameplay, here's what it means to us. Simply, that the left stick feeling has never felt better in Madden. It's not just fast players are fast, the end. Our explosive locomotion differentiates the north to south speed of athletes like Tyreek Hill versus the wiggly east-west players like Jahmyr Gibbs. With explosive locomotion, a player who runs a 4.2 40-yard dash will feel like a player who runs 4.2 40-yard dash. We want our players to feel the visceral difference between fast and explosive in Madden. Sorry, I had another pause there, guys. Here we go. Custom defensive zones lets you game plan and adjust like real NFL coordinators, or like a real NFL coordinator. With custom zones, defensive zones, you'll be able to set the depth of your zone defenders at the line of scrimmage to take away the pesky corner route from your opponent. Okay. So that doesn't sound like zone drops. This sounds like actual customization. We'll see how that works. Do you want your safeties to align on a certain hash, the passing strength, or elsewhere? AI logic, custom zones, and more deliver an overhaul to defensive coverage in Madden NFL 26. Wow. An overhaul in philosophy, guys. What this sounds like to me is a complete overhaul of the coding for coverage. We shall see. We can't wait to share more, including how we have leveled up the trenches with our foundational football features. Be on the lookout for our upcoming gameplay deep dive. Madden 26 doesn't just tweak mechanics. We've made a commitment to the soul of football, the fundamentals. Boy, they talking a big game, bro. They talking. Now let's look at what they're saying here. Franchise mode. The team heard your feedback and transformed the coach customization and immersion features in Madden 26 franchise mode. New challenges make the game to game, week to week. Experience feel different, okay? First things first, in the NFL, no two coaches are alike. Now in Madden, that is also true. We've added hundreds of new head coaches, new coach heads, brand new gear for when you're creating your coach and style, okay? We're also introducing a new metagame with coach abilities in Madden. You can now check out the scouting report and customize your game plan against your opponent each week. Okay, here we go. Coach abilities are also more than just a menu item. They can trigger via in-game scenarios. For example, one ability could increase your offensive tackles, success chance against power moves. Leveling up your coach gives you access to more abilities. And of course, CPU teams will be able to take advantage of these game plans as well. Game planning against you, okay? Playbooks become a large focus of your franchise this year with play sheets. Play sheets are another component of your weekly game plan and allowing you to add extra plays to your playbook. The play sheets you'll be able to access depends on how you level up your coach. Okay, I'm interested to hear more about that. I can't wait to see the franchise deep dive. Managing player wear and tear is now a part of franchise strategy. It says I read that wrong. It says managing your player wear and tear is now a part of franchise strategy, 2. Remember, when we mentioned Travis Hunter in the gameplay section, upgraded trainer roles mean trainer abilities are used to manage wear and tear. Wow, okay. Franchise mode comes alive and enhanced presentation, including halftime shows and weekly recaps with Scott Hansen and an all-new custom broadcast package for Sunday night, Monday night, Thursday primetime games. Finally, a halftime and a weekly recap. And I wondered if that was going to be the case, man, when they introduced Scott Hansen a few months back. And now you got presentation packages that match the... More on this and a whole bunch more franchise and presentation in a future Gridiron Notes this summer. Presentation. NFL atmospheres can come to life with revamped authenticity in Madden 26. Experience team-specific runouts, crowd chants, mascots, and pre-game traditions such as Minnesota's Skull Chant or Baltimore's Light Show. I don't care about Baltimore. Nah, shout-outs to Baltimore. Let's talk head coaches. More gear means more authentic-looking coaches. Dan Campbell is going to have that signature Dan Campbell look on the sidelines, complete with his t-shirt or rolled-up long sleeves. In terms of uniforms, the team added more alternate and classic jerseys from Nike, including the Texans' redesign. Stadium edge walls and field art are being aligned with specific uniforms. Bengals rocking a whiteout, Buccaneers and the creamsicles. The field logos will match those uniforms. Another in-stadium detail we added is in-venue prompt graphics packages from teams' real-life jumbotrons will be in the game. It's all in the details, and this is just the tip of the iceberg. We can't wait to share more with you in regards to franchise and presentation deep dive. Now, I'm sorry, Superstar and Ultimate Team is not really my thing, so I'm not going to read that here. Not really my thing, and I'm not going to talk about the bundles and the MVP and packages, none of that. Listen, myself, Smitty, Azure Effect, y'all know what we're about. Y'all know where we come from. Most of y'all do, some of y'all don't. Smitty and I will be talking about that this week. I believe we will be doing a pre-recording this week because we got some things going on tomorrow. We're going to record tonight. So a Sim Standard video of him and myself talking about this will be hitting the channel here on tomorrow at 8 p.m. Eastern time. But I'm just going to wrap it with this. Everything is TBD until we see it, but just the information alone. I don't care what anybody else says about what I'm saying or how you feel about what I'm saying. I could care less. Don't care not one bit. This is the stuff I have been asking for numerous years. And I'm not going to say it's complete. I don't know. But this is significant change in presentation, gameplay, franchise mode. This is what I want to see out of EA Sports. Continuous jumps until they get to the place where we are all feeling like, yeah, this is what we need. This seems like a significant jump. I'm going to remain TBD. But yes, reading this information without having any inside knowledge, because I haven't been down to EA in a few years, I'm excited about what I'm seeing and hearing. So that's just that. But outside of that, guys, of course, I look forward to hearing what you guys think. Definitely get busy down in the comments. Let me know what you think, what you love, what you hate, whatever. Opinions are opinions. But until next time, man, I'm going to remind you guys, make sure you subscribe to the channel, man. Turn on your notifications. Definitely hit that like button if you like the content. And hey, I shall catch you in the next one. Peace.